Hello there YouTube, it is your boy B3, back with another kicking comic book review. We've been doing single issues. We're doing single issues now. Today we're looking at Godzilla Rivals versus Mothra. Just the single issue. It's a one-shot. You can get it and you get the full story. That was the cool thing about Godzilla Rivals. They were just all versus one-shots. And I have reviewed the Hedorah one. And in that one I was like, I really respect how they drew Godzilla in this. They drew him like a Showa Godzilla. And then this Godzilla is drawn as the 84 Godzilla? IDW never uses Showa Godzilla. They use Heisei a lot, but they never use the 84. That's very interesting that they're using Godzilla designs they don't typically use for this. Anyway, there is a reporter who's reporting on some stuff that the Japanese military is doing. And she finds out that they have Mothra chained up under a lake. I don't know why they think no one's going to find Mothra down there, but the reporter finds her and sets her free so that she can fight off Godzilla, because the JDSF cannot handle Godzilla. And Mothra does it. It's actually very interesting. She flies out of the lake, because she's already in her adult form, and she silks herself up to kind of heal up and stuff. And I almost thought she was going to come out in a very different form, but she really didn't. I guess they didn't want to license another Mothra. But also, the human had to help cut her out. The reporter had to help cut her out, which is very interesting because there are moths in the real world that have been domesticated and bred to the point where they can't cut themselves out of their cocoons, these little silk moths, and humans have to do it for them. Very interesting, I thought. But we see a cool fight with Godzilla and Mothra, of course, and Mothra does a very interesting thing. She makes another cocoon around herself and Godzilla and sinks them to the bottom of the ocean. We've kind of seen it before. I remember the original Godzilla vs. Mothra. The two larvae silk him up, and remember he gets silked and sunk by Kiryu in Tokyo SOS. But in this one, it's an adult Mothra trapping herself with Godzilla. And at the very end, we see Godzilla break out. So it almost seems like it's pointless, but that's how a lot of monster things end, you know, with the single hand jutting upward. I've even done it in a short film before. I love it. It says sometime later on it when it happens, but maybe that sometime later could have been, decades later or something interesting like that, to kind of show that it wasn't entirely pointless. Because when you say sometime later, I immediately pictured like hours when I first read this, and I was like, is hours? But sometime, I guess in my brain I could be like, that could be years if I wanted it to be. So that's what I'm making it. Yeah, sorry if that was quick. It's a good book, but it's just a simple one-shot, you know? Just a nice little Godzilla vs. Mothra story. I like the characterization of this general guy that's in it. I don't exactly remember his title because I didn't write it down because I'm stupid. But he is like, no, we can't let Mothra out. Are you insane? And then he sends people to fight Mothra. And he also wants to fight on the front lines himself. And you always see that in media. Like the military leader whose job it is to just call the shots and not actually be put in danger most of the time, who really cares about their men and their job, so they go to fight themselves. Which is like admirable and stuff, but I mean, without them calling the shots, it's just going to be worse, right? Like if they just hop in a plane and no one's really in command anymore, like you'll put someone else in command, sure, but will they do is go to a job? No, because it wouldn't have been their job in the first place. Like when you take the time to think about that trope, it really seems like a stupid decision. But he does eventually come to an understanding about Mothra and Godzilla and stuff, has his own little let them fight moment and whatnot. And it is a good book, you know? If you want to read it, I do recommend picking up the trade. I don't have the trade for the first several issues, but I have like the first issue that's in the first volume, so I'll review it by itself. Or the first issue for the second volume, I'll review it by itself. But the next issue of this is Godzilla Rivals versus King Ghidorah, which I actually have a lot to say about. This one I didn't have as much to say about. Like, it's good, and the art's good, and they picked a unique Godzilla design and stuff. And it's tropey, but it's fun. The next one I have a lot to say about. Godzilla Rivals versus King Ghidorah. Made me think about things. And we'll probably do it next. So that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll be seeing you all next time. Bye for now.